Hey guys, it's the next morning and all my lids have sealed. They're all good, no dingers. Heard them popping all last night, and they do got some lime or calcium or whatever is built up in the water. But what I'll do is I'll just take these rings off and wipe them down with a towel and put them in storage. Awesome. Got 6 of them, and probably get 6 to 14 green beans. So I'm gonna get on the green beans. It's a little different than doing the tomatoes. Green beans are done in a pressure cooker, but I won't bore you with all the prep time. You stamp the green beans, you rinse them off, you prep the jars, wash them, sterilize them the same way in the oven or water bath, and then we'll just get to packing them and pressure cooking them. Alright guys, got my jar soaking and warming up my oven. Thought I'd talk about the pressure cooker a minute. This is a double stack one. You can get them shorter that just fit the 7, but if you get a rack you can get like 14 in here. But basically this lid locks onto here. When you heat it up it creates a pressure, and you want to keep it to a certain poundage for a certain time, different cook times and poundage for different types of foods. But basically you got a ring you put in down here. There's a mark on the inside where you fill up the water. There's only about that much water in there. But you want to go over your lid, make sure this is tight, make sure this hole isn't plugged, make sure your pressure sealer right here is working and that your seal is good. And then you got your ring that goes on here. You want to make sure all them are in working order. So, alright guys, so I'm packing my jars here. Got some water boiling back there. And rinsed the beans off several times. Last night my wife snapped them. We got a half a bushel of beans. And soaked them in some water just to clean them off. And I want to pack beans. Well, there's going to be a lot of air spaces in it, so you want to shake it and get everything packed down in there as best you can, so you can get the most out of most beans in a jar. But just watching some YouTube on my phone, watching Fox Company Prepping, his outing he had, very awesome. Gave some awesome shout outs. Great video to watch. Love it. So we were talking about prepping food the other night, and I told him I was going out to the market to get some green beans and tomatoes, and he'd never canned anything, so I thought I'd do a couple videos on canning. But you want them packed to the top sometime, you know, a little bit more, because they will cook down. So if they're close to the top, it doesn't matter. I'm using regular mouth jars. If you have the wide mouth, let me see if I got a wide mouth here. I got a wide mouth right here. This is a wide mouth jar, and it's a lot easier to put your vegetables in these. But I did find that you lose more a lot more that do not seal than the smaller ones. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but so there's a wide mouth, and then a regular mouth one. Get these packed up. Well, I got my water boiling. The jars are packed. I have the canning salt. Doesn't have any iodine in it. Gonna add a teaspoon of this canning salt here. And then got my lids and my rings. Just gonna ladle my water in. Some boiling water. Hope I boiled enough. Water up to about here, so you kind of want to turn it a little bit because you're going to have some air pockets, or you might have some air pockets. You want to get them out. And that. Ring and a lid. And there like so. Tighten her down. And then a repeat. We'll get her in the canner. Alright guys, I got the boiling water in the jars all sealed up. Lids and rings on them. I had turned on the water, like I said. There's only about that much water in it. We're going to put the jars in here. And then put the lid on. And then we'll continue on from there. We'll be very careful putting these in here. Because if you have something cold and you put it in this boiling water, it could shatter the glass in it. This will fit 7. And then there's a ring where you can put 7 pints. Pints or half pints. Oh, there goes one. I just heard it. Which one was it? Oh, it's this one. Right out the bottom, guys. See that? What kind of jar is this? This is an old mason jar. Well, I'm going to have to pull these out and then restart here. I got to dump all that out. That's just one of the trials and tribulations. Some of these jars are from like the 1930s, 40s and 50s, old ones, and they just, you know, they last the time, but that sucks. Alright, well, only thing we can do is start over. Alright, let's try this again. Got another jar packed with hot water in it. We're gonna try to do this without hearing that snap, but that's what happens.
Sometimes you go through this whole process and half your jars don't seal. Then you just gotta, I mean, you can't store them. You have to eat them. I'm in the refrigerator, eat them that week. So, I don't know if I'm gonna get 14. I'll be lucky if I get 10. Maybe 9. These are some newer jars here. I picked up a bunch from my pops, and some of them are really old. No tanks so far, so that is good. Alright, my friends, we'll get the lid on this. Where are we at? There's a marker on here that shows line the lid up. Get that lid lined up. Lock that sucker into place. And you got a little peep valve right here. And that's barreling. When that's barreling steam out of it, then we'll put this cap on there, this weight, and then we'll bring it up to 10 pounds. And we'll look at the book to see how many minutes at 10 pounds. And then the tricky part is, if you're using gas or electric or whatever stove you have, is adjusting your heat so you stay right at that 10 pounds. And then when your time's up, turn the heat off, then you have to let it pressure down. So I need to get this steam up. Show you this. This bottom of the jar, the whole jar, just popped right off. And it's an old jar. I don't know if it's got a year on it. They should all have years on it. I think this is maybe 1960. Get that going. Alright. Starting to get our steam and a little bit of spit and water up there. We're gonna put a cap on there. Should happen. Start building up pressure. And then this thing right here will pop up and make the final seal. Once that pops up, then the temperature gauge will go up. And like I said, we were going to want it around, stay around 10. So, it's the waiting game now, guys. Alright, our valve's shut and pressure's starting to climb. Get it about 10 pounds. Everything's going good. I didn't hear any jars breaking there so far, I hope. And if you guys are watching this video, that means I didn't blow myself up. Well, we have started the time. We're going to do it at 10 pounds. We're in a 10 pound range now.
and I've been backing the heat down to keep it in this 10-pound range. And we're going to do this for 25 minutes. Pints are 20 minutes. Alright guys, our 25 minutes are up and the heat is turned off, and we're gonna just let that slowly go down to 0. You don't want to open the lid or anything at this time. You don't want to take off your weight and leave that on there till all the pressure's out. When then your gauge goes down to 0, you'll know your pressure's did that focus? Yeah. When your gauge goes down to 0, you know all your pressure's out, because your low valve here will drop. So even if your gauge malfunctions and sticks up there, once this little valve drops, it means there's no pressure anymore. Now, when I brought it up to the 10 pounds, I had the heat on high. When I got about 10 pounds, I started timing it, and I just kept backing the heat down. Kept backing it down until I got a steady 10 pounds. So we'll let the pressure out of this and pack some new jars, and when the pressure's done, take off the lid and see how we did. Well, our little valve had went down and no more pressure on there. Give me some mittens. This is probably going to be hot. We'll see how we did. Alrighty. The moment of truth. Well, the water's still clear, so I must have done it right here. You can see that, guys, without fogging up. Get these out. Well, the first batch looked like it did really well, but the worries ain't over yet. We gotta let these set for 24 hours overnight and cool, and then all them lids have to seal. So as they'll start to seal, you'll start hearing them dink, making dinking sounds. But we'll know for sure tomorrow morning if they all sealed. Well, on to the next batch, and thank you guys for watching. And remember, if you're going to do any canning, please learn how to can. Get the Blue Book Preserving Foods. Learn how to sterilize your jars and everything before you attempt this. And also remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. You guys take care. We'll see you on the next one.